Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind provides employment and training resources to people who are blind or visually impaired at any stage of life and socioeconomic background. The Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind offers summer programming for teens transitioning into adulthood. There are programs for individuals aged 18 to 54, as well as senior programming for persons over 55 years of age. CLB provides instruction in orientation and mobility, technology, low vision, and independent living skills. Please feel free to visit our website at www.clb.org. Viewers may also call our office at 202-454-4600 to speak to someone in our communications department.
Welcome to Café Latino. This is a place where I invite friends to cook with me. Today I have a special friend. Her name is Kathy Krum. She born blind, but her life has never stopped after that. Her story is awesome, and we will hear about it. She's the manager at, she works at the Columbia Lighthouse for Blind. Welcome, Kathy. How are you doing?
Fine, and you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice
to meet you. Thank you for coming to cook with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Kathy, can you tell us a little about you?
I've been blind all my life. My retina did not develop properly, the optic nerve didn't develop properly. The retina's deteriorated, and I have a little bit of light perception. And I went to school for the blind through the end of my 10th grade year, and then went to public school in 11th and 12th grade. And then I attended college, Nazareth College in Rochester, New York, majored in music therapy.
In music therapy?
Yes.
Wow. What instrument did you learn to play?
Voice and piano.
Okay.
And then I got my master's degree in 1997 in blind rehabilitation. Now they call it as vision rehabilitation therapy. So I am a certified vision rehabilitation therapist.
What is the purpose of that?
To be able to work with people who are visually impaired or blind and teach independent living skills, technology, just to help people to have a full and independent normal life.
Oh. And what is the position in Columbia Lighthouse for Blind?
Manager of rehabilitation services. So I teach independent living skills in what is called our FAB apartment, and FAB is Foundations of Adjustment to Blindness. And we have classes at least once a month, sometimes more often. We serve senior citizens and also younger people who are looking to prepare for the workforce. And so sometimes we talk about interviewing and resume writing. We have people come in and speak about employment-related issues.
Okay.
And our senior program is a half day, and it's we focus on cooking, and if someone's interested in learning to thread a needle, or cooking, sewing or cleaning, or I also teach Braille. We have a low vision specialist that examines people if they have some vision. And we have an orientation and mobility person who works with people and teaches them independent living skills, how to travel safely in an outdoor environment.
Oh wow, it's very interesting. And today you are going to show us how you teach people how to cook, no?
Correct.
So, and then we got good meatloaf. So what would be the first thing you want to show us? So we have we have the onions, meatloaf, the meat. So tell us about it.
We're going to be working, when I teach independent living skills, most of the people can probably show me how to cook, especially some of our seniors. But I'm mostly interested in learning about making sure that they can cook safely in their environment. And so as far as I know, nobody's cut themselves or caught any of their homes on fire under my watch. So we hope to keep it that way. And I teach, grandmas, they like to have a pinch of this and a pinch of that. And when you lose your vision, you really do need to measure. Although I think with the meatloaf, I'll be doing, pinching a little bit. But
That's great.
that's usually we always try to measure.
So the first thing you told me you want to do is cut the onion.
Yes.
Okay, you can show us.
So it's in half at the moment, so I'm just gonna. And also, the best course of action is to have a sharp knife, which this is a very sharp knife, which is good because. And see, I'm keeping my fingers on either side of the knife.
Okay,
So that
that's the way you know that you're not going to cut your fingers.
Right, so I know where the knife is.
Yeah. Okay, and you can put the onions here in the pot directly. Okay. Perfect. We have a little more onion. Okay.
These are a little bit larger pieces, but.
I love onions, so then they could cook and disappear. So I think
That's true, they do.
Yeah. I think it's enough onion. What do you think?
Okay, that works for me.
So then we have the meat. And it's a pound for meat. It's enough, no? A pound.
Oh yes, That's what the recipe calls for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can take the trash.
Right, and so now we're going to crack the egg. And it smells okay, so I guess we can dump this in there.
Yeah, just drop it in there.
Okay.
Perfect. And then we have the salt and pepper.
We're going to do the thing that, the pinch thing, instead of measuring. I think it calls for like a table, or salt and pepper to taste, so I think it's.
The salt is in the other pot, in the other space. In the other.
This?
This is pepper.
Oh, this here, this is.
This is pepper. The next one is.
Oh, that was the egg that I just took. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Here we go.
And this is the salt, and it's kosher, so it's the thick one. I like kosher salt. And then the milk. And the measure is over here.
Oh my.
Sorry. And this measure has a braille.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough, I think. Yep.
And it has a spout.
Uh-huh.
So you can just pour in there like this.
Perfect.
And
then the
breadcrumbs.
The breadcrumbs. Perfect.
And then I teach my students to make sure it's level.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this nice carving board here, so it serves as a tray to pick up any excess mess.
And then on the left side is the towels that you mentioned that you want to clean your hands.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And in front of me.
Super. So then I mix all this.
Mm-hmm. Now I usually have my students use their fingers and knead it. But that works too.
You can do it. You have your hands clean.
It's especially people that are born blind like me, sometimes don't really want to touch the meat. But yeah, it takes a little practice, getting used to this. But that way, I guess you could beat it with a knife too.
Well, the instruction says to do it with the hands. That's usually my mother usually do with the hands. And then in the next one is where we are going to put the meat.
Okay.
You can just, you want me to do it?
Let me just
Clean your hands.
clean my hands
Yeah.
a second. Okay, and I will.
Yeah, just.
And here's our. Thank you. Oh, that wasn't me.
No, it's me. Perfect.
And we could have used a spoon, but.
Okay. And perfect. So I will prepare the topping.
All right.
So
And that calls for ketchup, mustard, brown sugar.
yeah. How much ketchup do you usually put?
I usually like a lot of ketchup when I
Okay, so I'm just going to put like a cup. A cup?
Sure.
Okay. And a mustard. I like mustard. So tell me more about the programs to Columbia Lighthouse for the blind.
Well, we have, I teach, like I say, in independent living. I work a lot with food preparation, cleanup, and I label, I have the little, they're called bump dots that I put on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
And so I label the appliances, and we, label the dishwasher. So if I'm at somebody's house, they'll be able to load the dishwasher and wash dishes with the dishwasher or by hand, either way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me. And then we have our technology specialist. He teaches people how to use the iPhone and all the various apps that are involved with that, and also how to use the computer and various Apple products such as the iPad. People have to learn keyboarding because you can't always, when you start to lose vision, even if you have vision, it doesn't always give you proper information. So it's good to learn keyboarding by touch. And sometimes the teacher will put little dots on some of the keys to help a person locate them.
Now I have the mix here. Should I put it over? I have the mixer here.
Oh, sure.
I did it, so it's ready to put it over the meat.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is pouring. So this is a skill too. So I'm sort of using the spoon as a cane to kind of to make sure I get it evenly.
Okay.
And then use the rubber scraper to even it out.
Okay, perfect. After you do this, you put it in the oven. And
Okay.
the oven is at 350 degrees.
Okay. Oh, I need my oven mitts, please. These are mitts that come up to your elbows.
You can turn your body from. Okay.
Oh, sorry. These are mitts that come up to your elbows, and they're called flame retardant, so they don't catch fire if you're lingering a little too long.
So what you do first? Open the oven.
I do.
Okay. Down here.
That's right. This is a lower oven than one of
It's
these.
a lower oven, yes.
And then bring the rack out a little.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I bring this. Okay, here's.
And usually it's on the counter, so.
Yeah.
And I usually go from the side.
And then it's very low, this oven. Perfect. Super. So we are going to let it cook. We are going to take a break, and then we are going to put it out of the oven and sit down and eat, and continue talking about the programs that this nonprofit has. Okay. Having today, Kari is just having you here is wonderful. I think the experience to see you eat cooking without just something that the people really going to appreciate how you do it.
Oh, thank you.
So we say that it's a lot of people outside in the community that doesn't know that there are programs and places that they can come to learn.
That's right.
And sometimes the people just stay at home and they feel isolated, especially when they lose the light. Not like that.
When they begin to lose vision.
When they begin to lose vision, and they feel like they cannot be part of the community anymore.
And we offer support groups for that reason. There's a support group in Jefferson, at the Jefferson House in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
There are several all over the Washington metropolitan area that are one of our case manager conducts those meetings. So when you feel, if anybody calls, you can ask about the support group meetings. And that's a way for people to talk about their feelings and express their emotions. It's difficult to lose vision or any sense, and so it takes some time to adjust.
Absolutely. We talk about that, how many people now with diabetes?
Yes, it's quite an epidemic in this part of the country. Several people lose their vision as a result of diabetes. Also, there's a statistic: every 7 minutes, a person has lost their vision.
Wow.
So the agencies like the Lighthouse there's really a need, especially for people who are living longer, our seniors. A result of that, of longer lifespan, is that people's eyes wear out due to macular degeneration, glaucoma, and diabetes. So it's good to have agencies that can help people to adjust to losing vision.
Exactly, without charge and everything.
That's right. That's right.
That is very important.
Yes, what we do is free of charge, and we have fundraisers. We have an event on October 14th called Light the Way. It's a fundraiser, and there'll be several people that are going to be there, and it's going to involve some exercising and lots of good food to eat. They have a walk and a run, and so I hope a lot of people will contact the Columbia Lighthouse to find out where it's located, and we hope to see lots of people there.
So we are going to go back in a minute. We are going to put the food out of the oven, and we're going to try the food. Well, we finished. The meatloaf is cooked, and now we are going to enjoy. I'm really looking forward to eat it. So while I try the meatloaf, can you tell us about all these instruments that are here over the table, please?
Sure. The first thing I'm going to show you is these are called bump dots. They're clear, so I don't know how easily they'll be able to be seen. We have black, white, and orange. But these are transparent little dots that you put on the stove. So you put one on the stove itself and one on the knob, and then when the two match up to each other, you're cooking on medium, and then you can move the knob to the right as high and to the left as low. So these little dots can be on the stove, the washer and dryer, the microwave, in just any place that imaginable. You can use these for labeling. People sometimes can use them on the computer. So that's this, and then there's the this is called the double spatula. It looks like tongs, and so when you want to turn something over, if I were going to turn over my plate,
That's so fun.
then I would just put just pick it up under and turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's like do hamburgers or something?
Yes,
like that?
yes, it's great for hamburgers. And also, I've had a student recently that wanted to learn how to use the George Foreman grill, so I bought one, and so I could practice with it, and so that works really well for people who are visually impaired as well. This is a knife that is guaranteed that you won't cut yourself. It's the plastic. It has a plastic blade. Sometimes there are consumers that really are afraid to cut anything, so they will use this knife. And
It's a fork.
I was like, yeah, I was looking for my fork. Thank you. So I'll just demonstrate it on the meatloaf.
Okay.
So it just cuts right through.
Mm-hmm.
So we can put that aside. Mm-hmm. And Okay, there's the water here. Double spatula, measuring cups. They're all different types of measuring cups and spoons available. Some are different colors for people with low vision. These are actually have Braille on them. So this is I believe it's a 2-cup measure, but I'm going to read it to be sure. And it says 2 cups, and it has a spout right here, and then the Braille label. I mean, the Braille is on the handle. It has the handle's facing me. So it has a really nifty spout. And so this smaller one is 1/8 cup. So there are spoons like these too. And we have this lid that goes to a pot that we put the meatloaf in. The lid has holes in it. And so what you can do, the lid locks onto the pot. And so when you turn, if you're cooking spaghetti and you turn it over, the pasta stays in the pot, and all the water comes out of these little holes in the lid.
And then we have something in the left side, like it's round. That one.
Oh, this is a thermometer.
Okay.
This is a meat thermometer.
So when you're cooking,
72.3 degrees Fahrenheit.
So that's what our meatloaf is right now. So that way you can tell what, sometimes when you're cooking meat, you have to put a thermometer in here. So you just take it out of the oven, and then you just press the thermometer into the meat, and it tells you what your temperature is. And then you saw me demonstrate the oven mitts, which come up to your elbows, and they're very helpful for diabetics.
I'm trying mine. Let me try again. Hey, talk.
80.1 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, it's really neat.
80.1 degrees Fahrenheit.
And on the left side, there's a black box.
That's my note taker.
So how it works? It's like when you go to school.
Yes. I take note. A student can take notes in class, and I was reading the announcement at the beginning about the Columbia Lighthouse.
Uh-huh.
And so there's a Braille display. There's a Braille display here at the bottom, and it's warming up, and it says starting, and I named this file TV, so it says tv.txt, which is text, and then it says insert. It's warming up at the moment, so okay. And then I'm going to the top of the file, and of course I have the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind provides employment and training resources to people who are blind or visually impaired. So that's this on the display, and then it has a 6-dot keyboard, Braille keyboard. So in the middle is dot 1, 2, 3, and then to the right of that dot 1 is 4, 5, 6, and then the space bar is in the middle. And then to the far right, is enter, and to the far left is backspace. So it has an 8-dot keyboard, 8-dot system, because Braille is 6 dots, but this is computer Braille. So
it's different that when it's computer and when it's regular Braille when you take notes.
Well, this the backspace key is dot 7, and the enter key is dot 8.
Okay.
So it has the 8-dot system, which is what computer, graphics and what the computer characters are made up like that too in print.
So if you wanted to read a book, how you can is a Braille books? You can buy books in Braille.
You can. You can order them. There's a wonderful website or agency or organization. It's called National Braille Press. And you can call them. They have great cookbooks. They have a George Foreman cookbook that I've used quite a bit. And they have a lot of children's books. They have a children's book club of the month selection. And when my daughter was younger, I used to order those and read. They were what they call twin vision. So there was print and Braille. And on the print side, there were pictures. So she could see the pictures. And then they had the Braille and with a description of the picture, so that I knew what was going on too when I was teaching her. So working with her.
Well, we almost arriving to the final of our show, and just talk a little personal stuff. And how long have you been married?
This December 27th will be our 20th anniversary.
Oh my goodness, so beautiful. And you have a daughter that is 16 years old.
Yes.
What's her name?
Her name is Melanie.
Melanie.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
Yes.
And as you see, it's wonderful that you have lived a normal life. You do everything. It's just amazing. I'm so proud to have you here and share with other people that be blind doesn't mean to stop your life, no?
That's correct.
We are closing our show. Would you like to I always want asking the guests to say something for the community. What would you like to share?
Well, I want all of you to know that being low vision or blind, it is difficult initially to adjust, but with time and practice and learning the skills, it does get easier. You have to learn a new way of doing things, and sometimes being blind can be very frustrating, especially, most people tell me that especially with driving, because you have to depend on someone to take you places instead of just, get in your car and go. So that can be a little bit trying for your patients sometimes, but it can be a nuisance being blind and visually impaired. But we would hope that people would call us at the Columbia Lighthouse and attend support groups and ask about training opportunities. We also have volunteers who will read mail to some of our clients, and maybe read books to them, take people shopping, take people to the doctor. So maybe some people out in the audience here will be interested in volunteering to help out the community, the visually impaired community.
Well, thank you very much, Kari, to be here.
You're welcome.
We're coming to the final hour show. As every time I invite people, I always learn so much. Today we have somebody very special, and I hope so we can invite her again to teach us something else. We're looking forward to see you in the next show. Laura Drain, Café Latino, Cooking with Friends.
Hey you, want to be on TV? Why not make a show of your own? Welcome to Fairfax Public Access. FPA is a nonprofit organization that provides a platform for people to share their views and ideas through television and radio. Whether your goal is to be on camera or behind it, you'll learn all the fundamentals of broadcast production through extensive hands-on training. The station offers 3 television studios and 2 radio studios, in addition to editing suites and more. So instead of watching TV, create your own show. Visit www.fcac.org and get started today.